Hello and welcome to another Bet Unwrapped podcast. I'm your host, Corey Easley. You can find me at CMoney52 on Twitter, joined as always by Alex Valdez. How's it going, Alex?
It's going well, man. Looking forward to winning this power parlay this weekend. I'm just going to keep on speaking it into existence every single week till it happens.
I mean, that's what you got to do. We just got to keep the faith. As Devin Singletary just ran like a 70-yard touchdown.
Yeah, 51 yards and a touchdown. Hurrah for anybody who had to have him in their lineup this week.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, that's a big get. Devin Singletary going over his rushing yards prop for sure. I believe it was only like 38 yards or something like that. So that comes through on one play. So obviously today we are going to be looking at the week of NFL this week, and then we're going to also look at some NBA futures at the end of this podcast as well. Just your standalone MVP, player of the year, rookie of the year type stuff. So hopefully we can get this done in about 60 minutes. So let's get after it here. The first game up obviously is not going to be on the power parlay, but Carolina Panthers and Green Bay Packers are about to kick off here in 26 minutes. Is there anything that you like as far as props go? I know I gave out Teddy Bridgewater over 12.5 yards rushing. I also gave out Marquez Valdez-Scantling over 41.5 yards receiving. And I also gave out Jamal Williams over 29.5 yards rushing. So is there anything that you like in this game?
Yeah, no, I leaned with the two cornerstones of that offense, Aaron Jones and Devontae Adams over rushing and receiving. Aaron Jones was at 64.5 and Devontae Adams was at 88.5. I just think against this Panthers defense, they're definitely going to just manhandle this Panthers defense. So I like your picks too, for sure. I like that Scantling one. I know you have a little prop bet in for the touchdowns later, so that'll be a good one. But yeah, and I think you said Teddy Bridgewater 13.5. Perry's asking
12.5. Yeah,
12.5. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
He's asking what do you think about that one extra yard?
Oh, I mean, if you're bet 12.5, you might as well bet 13.5. But with quarterback rushing, it's a little bit of a crapshoot. So
Perry, Matt's trying to take your money.
Tread lightly, Perry. Tread lightly.
don't put the rent down.
No, I mean Teddy always gets those like crazy little, no one's open. He just like sprints up the middle for 13 yards. So hopefully he gets a couple of those in this one, like he usually does. So we'll see. I mean, he's not the most mobile quarterback in the world, but he's like kind of like Drew Lock in that way. Oh.
Hey man, Drew Lock was getting his Lamar Jackson impression today with those QB rushes, man.
Yeah, it kind of looked like it for sure. So we'll move on from that game. Anytime touchdown scores in that one, a little bit interesting. Obviously, I kind of like Marquez Valdez-Scantling to score, $3.25. Alan Lazard at $3.20 is interesting. Curtis Samuel, $3.60. DJ Moore at $3.25. So there's some interesting anytime touchdown markets out there. As for first touchdown scores, I'm just going to quickly put $5 on Alan Lazard to score the first touchdown, just because it's random and it's 14-1 odds right now. So I just did that, and yeah, we'll move on from the NFL, from that game today to the Houston Texans and the Indianapolis Colts. The Colts are 7-point favorites in this one. That's paying $1.85. The Colts paying $1.28 on the money line. You gotta roll with the Colts here. The Texans are just banged up. It's been a rough season. It's been a long season. Lots of changes throughout the year. David Johnson supposedly will be back for this one. I'm not sure if that really helps. Brandon Cooks will be back, which will definitely help. But what are your thoughts on this Houston Texans and Indianapolis Colts game?
Yeah, no, I definitely agree with your sentiment. This Texans team is very depleted. Injuries have just ravaged them, and of course the suspension of Fuller and Bradley Roby is definitely a huge hit to this team, who doesn't have the most talent in the draft the draft picks to really replace these guys. But yeah, I'm really liking the Colts in this one, and for the Texans killer to continue to just slaughter this secondary.
Yeah, I mean, it's a real tough matchup for the Texans. I just don't think they have an answer for Taylor. So let's get into the props here. We got quarterback market. Phillip Rivers is at 270.5. Deshaun Watson's at 265.5. Phillip Rivers to throw over 1.5 touchdowns, paying $1.50. I don't have that Watson prop at the moment for some reason. Rushing wise, we got Jonathan Taylor at 76.5 yards rushing. Naheem Hines at 24.5. Jonathan Taylor attempts is at 17.5. And Jonathan Taylor rushing and receiving yards is at 93.5 yards total. Receiving props, we got Jonathan Taylor at 17.5 yards. T.Y. Hilton, 59.5. Michael Pittman at 54.5. Zach Pascal at 31.5. Naheem Hines at 21.5. Jordan Akins at 30.5. Jonathan Taylor receptions is at 2.5. The over paying $1.98. T.Y. Hilton, who's the Texans killer, is at 4.5 receptions, over paying $1.65. As far as Texans receivers go, only thing I have right now is Akins. Receptions at 3.5. Kiki Kuti is at 4.5 receptions. The over paying $2.07. So anything that you like that jumps off the page? Because I'm all in on Jonathan Taylor.
Yeah, on Jonathan Taylor, I like the rushing and receiving, which is 93.5. I think he'll definitely hit that. And T.Y. Hilton over receptions, over 4.5 and 59.5 yards. He should hit that. He's kind of like had a new breath of or a new wind in his sail. These last couple of games, he's really been performing to name brand. So I'm definitely rolling with him continuing that. Perry in the chat says, hey, Chad Hansen props, no dice. No Chad Hansen props available. Connie said, another day of living, Alan Lamar. Connie just pulling up to be a hater, typical.
Normal.
Lewis and then Steve, any deep value at receiver for Houston?
Not at the moment.
I know Corey probably low key is going to put a bet down for Akins, but I just
I'm not.
What's the
worried.
Is the end zone? Does the end zone have the sun aimed at it again?
Is there sunlight? Is there sunlight in this game? If there's sunlight, I'm out. So I probably will bet Brandon Cooks once that prop comes out, but it won't be until close to kickoff when those ones come out. But yeah, I will probably be betting Brandon Cooks over receptions, which probably, knowing the prop market, it's probably gonna be around 4.5. So I don't mind taking that. So where are we gonna go? Jonathan Taylor rushing and receiving?
Yeah, I definitely like that one a lot.
Right, we'll lock that one in. Jonathan Taylor rushing and receiving over 93.5 yards. We're moved to Tampa Bay Buccaneers at the Atlanta Falcons. And something just weird just happened. It says betting suspended. So I don't know what happened there. Maybe it's just a temporary thing, but it says sus. It's sus.
Let me see if there's any storylines coming up. Yeah, there's no COVID scares at all, because that would have been the number one thing on the Google search.
It just changed, so I don't know what happened. It might come back. It might just be a minor thing, but we'll move from that game. I'll come back to it if it comes back on the board. San Francisco 49ers at the Dallas Cowboys. This game used to be a fun matchup, not so much now. 49ers paying $1.53 on the money line. Cowboys paying $2.51. The 49ers are giving the Cowboys 3 points in this matchup. That's paying $1.80. The total in this game is 45.5. And 5 of the 49ers' last 6 Sunday games have gone under the total points. So there's a little trend for you if you're a trend guy. I like the 49ers in this matchup. I don't quite know why I like the 49ers in this matchup, but I think it's just a Dallas thing. So talk some sense into me. Are you taking the Cowboys here plus the 3? Or is it 49ers all the way?
No. I think last week I had the Cowboys, but they were going to – who were they going against last week? Because I actually did put a bet down on them. But regardless, that was easy then. I'm also rolling with the 49ers. I definitely think that they'll just take care of business there. I think we'll see more of the Raheem Mostert that we all expect in terms of player props. You know what I mean? So I like this 49ers team even without Debo.
Yeah, well, let's just get into the props because I'm weary of anything Mostert at the moment. Nick Mullins is at 237.5 passing. Andy Dalton's at 247.5. Andy Dalton over 1.5 touchdowns paying $1.96. Nick Mullins over 1.5 touchdowns paying $1.87. Rushing props, Raheem Mostert is at 59.5 yards rushing. That's paying $1.79 for the over. Andy Dalton's at 4.5 yards rushing. That's paying $1.83 for the over. Raheem Mostert rushing and receiving is at 72.5 yards. We have no Dallas running back props. Receiving props wise, we got Brandon Ayuk at 74.5 yards. Kendrick Bourne at 36.5. My guy, Kendrick Bourne. Amari Cooper, 54.5 yards receiving. CeeDee Lamb at 46.5. Michael Gallup at 46.5. Jordan Reed at 26.5 yards. Dalton Schultz at 35.5. Raheem Mostert at 8.5 yards receiving. And Richie James at 30.5 yards receiving. Obviously, we've got total receptions. Kendrick Bourne's at 3.5, the overpaying $2.21. Brandon Ayuk at 6.5, the overpaying $2.16. Amari Cooper at 4.5, the overpaying $1.79. CeeDee Lamb at 3.5, paying $1.59 for the over. Michael Gallup at 3.5 as well. That's paying $1.79 for the over. There's some other ones here, but those are the main guys. Anything that jumps out to you on these ones?
I know you're kind of off the Raheem Mostert train. I do like that line at 59.5. I definitely think he hits the over on that. And the other one that really stuck out to me was receiver Brandon Ayuk over 74.5 receiving yards. He's been very consistent for this offense, and whether it be because of opportunities or what you may have as reasoning, he definitely has been producing consistently, and I like him as well against this Dallas defense.
Yeah, and I was definitely wrong on Brandon Ayuk. I mean, coming out, I understand the fit. The fit's perfect for what his skill set is in that 49ers offense. I just thought, he was more of a yak guy, and I still think he is. But the way that they actually use him in that offense is absolutely perfect for what they're trying to do. So do we double up here since we have less games? So we go Mostert and Ayuk over?
Yes.
Okay. All right, done. It's in. And we're going to move from the San Francisco game, and we are going to go to the Detroit Lions versus the Tennessee Titans. The Titans are 8.5-point favorites in this one. That's paying $1.85 for them to cover the spread. They're $1.18 on the money line. Sounds like Stafford is not going to play in this one. Chase Daniel season is upon us. The total in this game is at 53.5. It could be really ugly very fast. If you have like a big win, little win type bet on your book, like I do, I have Tennessee Titans 14 plus is paying $2.25. I don't mind that at all. What do you like about this game as far as lines go?
Real quick, I did look for Matthew Stafford's status. He's still expected to play with the rib injury. I don't know if that even helps you lean a little bit more with him banged up. But yeah, no, I definitely
please no.
Definitely regardless, I definitely like the Titans. I think it's gonna be another Derrick Henry just domination game. So yeah, give me the Titans with the spread.
I hope that Stafford does not play. Anyway.
Are you starting Chase Daniel?
I am.
Full man. Oh,
I don't have another option. Unless I go pick up Colt McCoy right now.
I was just gonna say that as a joke. No, don't do that.
I had him on my roster, and I cut him last week because I had Mike Glennon and him because I had Wentz. So it's a super flex league. No one cares, obviously, but I had Wentz. Problems. Yeah. First place in the league, brutal. And now I'm sitting there with Chase Daniel. So anyway, we got Ryan Tannehill at 268.5 yards. Matt Stafford's at 285.5 yards. I mean, I almost want to bet the under with Matt Stafford right now. But not that It matters. Like if he goes in there and he gets one hit, it's like it's a wrap. There's no way he's getting 285. Anyway, Derrick Henry's at 113.5 yards rushing. You mentioned this pre-show. Yeah, that's a big number, but I still think he could get there. That's paying $1.76 for the over. DeAndre Swift's at 45.5. Receiving props, we only have AJ Brown, 71.5 yards. Corey Davis at 64.5. Marvin Jones, 57.5, and Danny Amendola at 38.5. Danny Amendola is probably the safest bet because I think even if Chase Daniel does play, Amendola will still be like that underneath safe target that he can pepper with passes. So, are we just going to go Henry here? Keep it safe?
Yeah. I mean, do you like AJ Brown at 71.5? That's a little too high for your liking.
I mean, he's been good, both him and Corey Davis, but I don't know. I could see the Titans just getting up early, and whether or not AJ Brown's a part of that, he could be, could not be. I could just see them just running the ball 30 times here, and
like I agree. Like I definitely looked at it and was like, "Holy shit, that's a big line right there." But I still locked it in as like money. So you wanna jump on the Derrick Henry train?
We're jumping on Derrick Henry train. Over 113.5. Big number. We're putting it out there on the Power Parlay this week. So moving on from that game, we're going to the Seattle Seahawks at the Washington football team. Seahawks giving the Washington 6.5 points in this one. The total is at 43.5. I like the Seahawks minus 6.5. Dwayne Haskins is not it. He can barely move the ball. As bad as the Seahawks defense is, this is a nice spot for them. What do you like about this game?
Yeah, maybe with the spread, it would have kind of convinced me to lean a little bit with Washington. That might be just like my little recency bias because they've been a fun team to watch. But looks like Gibson is doubtful. I don't like Dwayne Haskins hasn't really shown much to be really excited about. I think the Seahawks are just going to handle this Washington football team with the spread. So I'm rolling with that.
Yeah, for sure. I definitely like to see Seattle in this spot. So looking at the props here, we got Dwayne Haskins at 218.5 yards passing. Russell Wilson at 261.5 yards passing. Passing touchdowns, Russell Wilson over 2.5 touchdowns is paying $2.66. Dwayne Haskins over 1.5 touchdowns is paying $2.66. So I know what side I would be on that one. If I had to choose an over, I would definitely be with Wilson. Rushing props, we got Peyton Barber at 31.5, Chris Carson at 62.5, Russell Wilson at 18.5, Dwayne Haskins at 6.5, J.D. McKissick at 36.5, Chris Carson rushing and receiving is at 76.5, J.D. McKissick, my guy, is at 67.5 rushing and receiving. Receiving props, we got Terry McLaurin at 70.5, Tyler Lockett at 58.5, who's been abysmal in fantasy if you've had him. DK Metcalf, 72.5. Cam Sims at 28.5. Logan Thomas, 34.5. David Moore, 22.5. Chris Carson, 17.5. J.D. McKissick, 29.5. Steven Sims at 15.5. Isaiah Wright at 12.5. Anyone betting Isaiah Wright props, good luck to you. Chris Carson, total receptions is at 2.5. DK Metcalf at 5.5. Tyler Lockett, 5.5. David Moore, 2.5. Will Disley, 1.5. Jamie, can you look that up? Keep going here. Will Disley, how many catches he's had? J.D. McKissick's at 3.5 receptions. That's an over. Terry McLaurin's at 5.5. Steven Sims at 1.5. Cam Sims at 2.5. And Isaiah Wright comes back again for 1.5 receptions in this one. So anything that jumps out to you there other than J.D. McKissick over 3.5 catches?
Are we still rocking with J.D. McKissick? I feel like it's props of like we both love them and then like they don't hit.
What do you mean? They hit last week.
In receptions? Or yards?
Yards.
I don't think he hit on yards. Last week he had 18 yards receiving.
How many rushing yards though?
Oh, rushing he definitely hit. 11 carries, 68 yards. Back to total. Will Disley. Oh, you did the total? For Will Disley in the last 3 games, the game against Philly, he saw 48% of the snaps, did not get a single target. And then in the following game, he had 5 targets, 4 receptions, and last week 2 targets, 2 receptions. That's a sneaky one.
So yeah, it is a sneaky one.
I like that one actually.
It's paying $1.79, so it's being bet a little bit there. So, yeah. So we got. All right, where are we going on this one?
Now I like Carson rushing, but then I also don't necessarily feel it for power parlay. I like Carson receiving. It's at 17.5. I like Metcalf over the receptions. And there's this crazy one that I tweeted. It was DK Metcalf first reception over 13.5 yards. But again, that one probably not for the power parlay. I'm on the Metcalf receptions or Carson receiving yards.
I mean, taking a Seattle prop here is the safest option. So you think Metcalf catches 6 balls in this game?
Let me see what I'm looking at. I'm pulling up Metcalf.
5.5. And it's $2.09 for the over.
So in his last 4 games, Metcalf has had 5 targets, 3 receptions, 13 targets, 10 receptions, 8 targets, 5, 8 targets, 6. Chris Carson in the receiving game, in his last 3 games that he's been back, 18, 45, 22, with 2-3-3 in receptions and 2-6-5 in targets. So maybe receiving here. Fourth game back, and you know Chris Carson has the fighting spirit. I don't know if you heard about his little situation with that fantasy player who said he was going to beat him up, and then Chris Carson said, "Give me your address, I'll find you." Or I think Chris Carson sent him his address. So,
all right, so let's go Chris Carson over 17.5 yards receiving.
All right,
cool with that.
Love
you
it.
Can put your name down there. Because I'm definitely taking J.D. McKissic over receptions.
Yeah, of course you are. Did you and J.D. go to college together? Like, I feel like there's like extra love with it. Like,
oh man, no, we did not.
You better get a McKissic helmet. The way you're advocating for this, man.
I need one. Someone send me a McKissic helmet, please. The New England Patriots, my team versus the Miami Dolphins. Brian Flores and BB matchup. The Patriots are giving 1.5 points. Sorry, are getting 1.5 points in this game. That's paying $1.86. They're $1.98 on the money line. Dolphins paying $1.83 on the money line. The total in this game is 41.5. So that's not pretty. 8 of the Patriots' last 10 games have gone under the total. That's paying $1.87. What do you like about this game, if anything?
I'm not really the biggest fan of this game in props the betting one. I like that the Dolphins line has gone down to 1.5. I definitely, even though I know old Bill Belichick is the old reliable at destroying rookie quarterbacks, I'm going against the grain on that one. I like the Dolphins in this one. But on player props, man, this is gonna be your game, man. Because I'm gonna be honest with you, man. I was not feeling those player props when I looked at them initially. So, your name is gonna be on this one.
All right. So, can you let me know if Gesicki's out, right?
Gesicki, let's see.
Is he gonna play? Because he's not on the receiving props. So, just asking.
Mike Gesicki and Devontae Parker may play. They're gross. It's okay. As of right now, it's May. Let's see. Yeah. See, Miami Herald says Dolphins don't rule out Parker, Grant, or Gesicki, but hedge bets with roster moves. So it's not looking so confident for either of those three gentlemen.
Sorry, it's fine. I got this. All right. Tua's at
Cam Newton pass yards.
Tua's at 220.5 yards passing. Cam Newton's at 165. 165.5. Wow. Tua is at over 1.5 touchdowns, is paying $2.19. That's not a Cam Newton prop. Tua interception, yes, is paying $1.87. And Cam Newton interception, yes, is paying $1.91. Rushing props, we got Tua at 15.5. DeAndre Washington at 37.5 yards rushing. Why is that so low? Is someone coming back?
For who?
For the Dolphins running game?
Let's see the Dolphins. Let's see.
Is Breida back or Sony Michel's at 55.5 yards rushing. James White's at 20.5 yards rushing. Cam Newton's at 40.5 yards rushing. The Patriots did a number on the Dolphins week 1. I think they were a little bit surprised, but I don't know if they can catch them off guard twice in a row. Receiving props, we got DeAndre Washington at 11.5, James White at 22.5, Jacoby Myers at 47.5, N'Keal Harry at 24.5, James White receptions at 2.5, Jacoby Myers receptions at 3.5, N'Keal Harry receptions at 2.5, and Jacoby Myers we're not doing longest reception. No, thank you. So you're gonna hate this, but I'm gonna go N'Keal Harry over 2.5 catches again.
So Gaskin is still out with COVID as far as I'm aware. And let's see. Ahmed is questionable, but looks like it's leaning on the side of playing. I don't see Breida in the injury report, just for context for that question that you asked.
Well, like obviously if those guys are out, DeAndre Washington prop is easy money. 37.5 yards, but if those guys play, then it becomes I think so. Against this Patriots run defense, it's trash. That being said,
wait, let me just pull up Harry's stats real quick. I just want to
go look at that over. He went over last week, and I was loving every second of it.
So it's 2.5.
2.5 receptions, 24.5 yards.
He has hit both of those only twice in the last 4 games for context.
And last week.
No, last week he definitely hit it for sure. And he garnered 4 targets, which is the most he's had since week 11. So I'm trusting you, man, but your name's going on it.
It's tough. Jacoby Myers at 3.5 catches is interesting. 47.5 yards. How many targets did Myers get last week? 4?
Myers had 5 targets last week that he had 4 receptions, 47 yards. He's had at least 5 in the last 3 games, and he has come down with at least 4 in 2 of the three games. And his yardage is what?
47.5.
He's hit that once in the last 3 games.
Yeah, it's a bit dicey. I'm not going to lie. I mean, you want to bet Michelle props right now? That's not a life to be living in.
No. I am off the Michelle train.
I might go Harry over yards.
Harry, and he's at what? 24.5?
Yeah.
I need you to text. I really need you to text Bill. Make sure he doesn't miss any meetings before tomorrow, so he doesn't just disappear. All right, N'Keal Harry with a
N'Keal Harry is in Power Parlay. That's dangerous.
Watch, that's the only one that hits. Everything else is just like a wash.
Oh my god, I would lose it. Hate mail to N'Keal Harry. I'm gonna have to find his address. Chicago Bears at the Minnesota Vikings. Chicago Bears are getting 3 points in this game. They're paying $2.25 on the money line. Minnesota Vikings paying $1.65. The Vikings -3 is paying $1.95. I guess I like the Vikings in this game, but I don't love it.
Yeah, no, I don't love this game either. I think the line too is a little like, if it was at 4, I would probably lean with the Bears. I feel like the Bears and the Vikings in their last matchup, you could tell the game slowed down a bit, even with even Dalvin Cook was held without reaching the century mark. So yeah, I guess my lean is the Chicago Bears, but I'm definitely not touching this game.
All right, props wise, we got Kirk Cousins at 256.5, Mitchell Trubisky at 247.5. Mitchell Trubisky to throw over 1.5 touchdowns, paying $1.96. Kirk Cousins over passing touchdowns is over 1.5 passing touchdowns, $1.64. Yeah, I don't love that. I mean, I would lean to Trubisky over 247.5 yards passing. Rushing props wise, we got Dalvin Cook at 96.5, David Montgomery at 64.5, Mitchell Trubisky at 16.5 yards rushing, and that's pretty much it. I mean, we got Montgomery rushing and receiving at 96.5, and Dalvin Cook's at 122.5 rushing and receiving. Dalvin Cook first run attempt over 3.5 yards. Get a little creative there. Receiving props, we got Adam Thielen at 64.5, Justin Jefferson at 66.5, Allen Robinson at 76.5, David Montgomery 26.5, Anthony Miller 31.5, Darnell Mooney at 33.5, Dalvin Cook 22.5, and then Robinson receptions at 6.5, Miller at 2.5, Montgomery 3.5, Mooney at 3.5, Thielen at 5.5, Jefferson at 5.5, Dalvin Cook at 3.5. What is there anything that you like there?
There's four in particular that really caught my eye. You're gonna hate this one. I'm a big pass completions guy for especially if I find numbers that really support it. I like Mitch Trubisky over 22.5. I definitely think he'll be able to get this with this against this Vikings secondary. I like Justin Jefferson and Allen Robinson over their yards total. I know Robinson that's kind of high, but Trubisky always would lean with Robinson to begin with anyways, even going back to last season. And David Montgomery rushing at over 64.5, but I wouldn't hate going with the receiving since he's kind of ascended a little bit more into the pass catching game that he did in season before. So,
all right, I did a quick little dive into Allen Robinson versus the Vikings. It's not pretty. 17 yards, 39 yards, 77, 71, 43.
Let's keep that one off the power parlay.
It's not great. I'm just going to quickly try to look up Dalvin Cook. It's the same. I know you said that he didn't play well against the Bears.
I think he had 28, 30 carries, and he had 96 or 98 yards. He just missed the century mark, but was not a traditional Dalvin Cook cooking showing.
Yeah, he had 96 yards. The game before that, in 2019, he had 35 yards, 39 yards. In 2018, not pretty either. But he's just been such a beast this year. It's really hard to go away from it. So, all right, your call. I'm happy to take Cook. I would die on Cook Hill, but if you want to mix it up, it's on you.
Let me do a quick dive into David because you like David Montgomery's totals together, right?
I would rather just have his rushing.
Yeah, let's roll with the rushing one.
Going Monty?
Going Monty.
Okay. I mean, to be fair, against the Vikings, he averages 83 yards a game. So he had a 53-yard game last year in the first game, and then 113 yards the second game. So Monty it is. Monty Bear. He's in.
Monty Bear.
It's perfect. Monty Bear. I love it. Jacksonville Jaguars at the Baltimore Ravens. The Jags are getting 12.5 points against this Baltimore Ravens team. I'm all in on the Ravens minus 12.5. I know Minshew's back. Minshew Mania. The Minshew Mania is over as much as, his fans are sad about that. Kind of reminds me of Jeremy Lin a little bit. But anyway, moving on. I digress. The total in this game is 48. I would probably lean to the over, but I'm not sure about that. So what do you like about this game?
Yeah, even though Jacksonville has been a fun team to bet on the spread against this Ravens team that I think has new life after this fun Poopgate game that we had on Monday.
Poopgate. Gotta love
Isn't
Poopgate.
it kind of sad that there was a Poopgate game and that OBJ wasn't playing in it just for the jokes?
Oh.
But I'm definitely with you. I like the Ravens to cover here. I think they're going to run all over this Duval defense.
All right. Yep. I'm cool with that. Quarterback prop markets. We got Lamar Jackson at 196.5 yards passing. Gardner Minshew at 237.5 yards passing. Gardner Minshew to throw 2 touchdowns or over 1.5 is paying $2.47, which is very high. I kind of like that. Lamar Jackson over 1.5 touchdowns paying $2.03. Rushing props, got Lamar Jackson at 65.5 yards We got James Robinson at 65.5 yards as well. J.K. Dobbins at 68.5. Gardner Minshew at 17.5. Gus Edwards at 41.5. Receiving wise, as Aaron Jones. Is that Aaron Jones? He just took off for a huge run. Or
Yeah,
pass.
he just had a 47-yard
reception or run.
It was a run.
Well, there you go. You're over halfway to your total right there with that run.
All right. Shout out Aaron Jones.
Shout out to Aaron Jones. All right. Keelan Cole is at 36.5 yards receiving. DJ Shark at 46.5. Laviska Shenault at 33.5. Willie Snead at 26.5. Tyler Eifert, 23.5. James Robinson, 24.5. James O'Shaughnessy, 15.5. J.K. Dobbins at 8.5. Colin Johnson at 16.5. Marquise Brown at 37.5 yards receiving. Gross. This is how the mighty have fallen. And as Jamal Williams just picked up like 12, so I'm halfway to my total as well. James Robinson at 3.5 catches. DJ Shark at 3.5 catches. Keelan Cole, 3.5 catches. Laviska Shenault, 3.5. Tyler Eifert at 2.5. J.K. Dobbins, 1.5. Marquise Brown, 3.5. Willie Snead, 2.5. I kind of like that one. What do you like about this game? There's a few things that I could kind of bet here. So
yeah, there's three in particular that I'd be willing to put into the power parlay. One is Lamar Jackson rushing. It's a little high at 65.5, but I think he'll definitely hit that against this Jags rush defense. I also kind of like Dobbins. I know the numbers don't support it in recent games, but I think against this Jags defense, he'll definitely have over 68.5 yards. And a sneaky one that I really like only because of his emergence in these last 3 weeks is Colin Johnson, who's at 16.5 receiving yards. In his last 3 games, he has had 96, 56, and 33, 8, 6, and 3 targets. So the target share is there for him to get at least 17 yards.
All right. That's cool. I'm happy with that. I mean, Keelan Cole is kind of interesting to me as well. Just because when Minshew's the quarterback, it's a little bit different story. But I don't know. Did Colin Johnson even play? Oh, my God. Sorry.
What happened?
Robert Tonyan was 1 yard short of first touchdown score, which I just bet on this podcast. And now he's probably not going to get it. Anyway. And
now I'm depressed. End the show.
Stop it. Stop the show.
I did have an Aaron Jones first touchdown though, so even though that wasn't the biggest of bonuses,
this is looking good for you right now.
Yeah. All right. Cool.
He is in the game, but so we'll go. Colin Johnson.
Tony just got the 1 yard touchdown.
Did he?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I have them in like 4 fantasy semis right now. Let's go.
So if you were following live, you just got Robert Tonyan first touchdown prop. You're welcome. Bid you adieu.
Money.
First touchdown prop coming through live here. We gave it out, and you
Shout
win.
Out Tonyan. God bless you.
We want. That's what we want here. We want winners. All right,
thank you for blessing my account.
Colin Johnson over 16.5 yards receiving is in. Do you want to add another one just for fun? You want to add in Lamar Jackson as well?
Receiving yards. I mean, even though it's at that mark of 65.5, do you feel it too?
He's a beast. Yeah.
I don't know, man. He has regression.
Not rushing.
I'm making a joke.
I know. I'm joking.
All right, so both of them, Colin and Lamar. All right, let's roll.
All right. So next game is Tampa Bay game's back. All right, let's go back. Tampa Bay Buccaneers at the Atlanta Falcons. Buccaneers are 6.5-point favorites in this game. That's paying $1.90. The Buccaneers are $1.32 on the money line. The Falcons paying $3.44 as the underdog. The total in this game is at 49.5. Seems slightly low, but what do you like about this game?
Yeah, I'm rolling with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I think it's going to be one of those games where Atlanta just like falls over, it's going to be one of those Tampa Bay is going to be like the hashtag trend again, and everybody's going to be like, "Oh, how you guys doubt Tom Brady?" So yeah, give me Bucks minus 6.5. I swear to God, if the Falcons somehow come out and just blow them out, I'm going to be so mad.
I mean, that's in the realm of possibility, but
Definitely.
Probably not as likely. But I mean, Atlanta did beat them last year, 28-22, their last matchup in December. So keep that in mind. Obviously, different set of circumstances here. There's no Jameis Winston. Quarterback prop markets got Tom Brady at 300.5 yards passing. I'm leaning to the under on that one. Matt Ryan at 272.5, and Tom Brady to throw over 2.5 touchdowns, paying $2.24. Matt Ryan to pass for over 1.5 touchdowns. It's low for him at $1.85. I kind of like that one. Rushing props, we only have the Atlanta Falcons running backs right now. Todd Gurley's at 26.5 yards rushing. Gross. Ito Smith at 27.5. Receiving props. All right, we got some action here. We got Mike Evans at 56.5, Godwin at 62.5, Antonio Brown 56.5, Calvin Ridley at 80.5 with Julio out, Russell Gage at 54.5, which has been coming through. I'm pretty sure I had Russell Gage last week. He came through for me. Hayden Hurst at 32.5, Rob Gronkowski at 35.5, Todd Gurley at 6.5. Receptions wise, we got Mike Evans at 4.5 receptions, the overpaying $2.02. Chris Godwin, who we went with last week, will not be doing that this week, is at 5.5, the overpaying $1.98. Antonio Brown over 4.5 is paying $1.70. Calvin Ridley is at 5.5, the overpaying $1.62. Russell Gage over 4.5 receptions, paying $1.74. Hayden Hurst over 3.5 receptions, paying $2.12. Rob Gronkowski over 3.5 receptions, and Todd Gurley at 1.5 receptions. Anything?
Ito Smith is still even at 27.5. No,
No.
He's hit his over his last 3 games. Just saying, Todd Gurley's disintegrating right in front of our eyes.
Yep.
I mean, Todd Gurley is. I like Russell Gage's yards, but that's not always the sexiest player prop.
I like Russell Gage's yards as well.
Yeah. You know what? I think it's fake that
Mike Evans.
Mike Evans. Let's see his recent stat line. What's it at right now?
56.5. I'm pretty sure he went over last week.
He was at 56 last week, 50 the week before, 49 the week before, and then 77 and 64 2 games before then. So the 56 is right in his realm.
But
not the biggest fan. Now, anytime touchdown Mike Evans, I might even go risky with that one just because.
Oh, DJ Moore. Yes, sir.
What?
Let's go. Big catch. Need that.
I don't have any shares of him, so I didn't get a single notification from Sleeper. That's why I was like, wait, what just happened?
I got the prop over 61.5 yards.
What's his?
The prop was at 61.5.
Was that his first catch?
That was his first catch.
See, you should have bet him as the longest his first reception over.
First reception over 30 yards. Yeah, that would have been good. I like Evans. You don't like Evans. I like Gage. We both like Gage. You like Ito Smith.
Are we gonna die on the Russell Gage?
Well, we're gonna die on Ito Smith Hill.
I mean, Ito Smith's numbers support it, but here, now that I'm saying that out loud, now it's not. He's gonna have like 26 yards or some bullshit. All right, if you had to pick between Ito Smith and Russell Gage, who you rolling with?
I'm going Russell Gage.
Russell Gage is at.
Or do we go Matt Ryan? 2 touchdowns.
I don't want to talk about it too much in detail, but I
run it in.
No. I was in but I'm telling you, I was in a 2 quarterback league and I lost Dak, so I was in the playoffs, so I made a push, so I traded for Matt Ryan, and Matt Ryan proceeded to just help me lose 4 straight games after. So I'm a little bitter towards Matt Ryan. So no thanks. He's let me down way too many times already.
Long story short, no.
Right,
we're going Russell Gage.
What a long diatribe to just say no.
Russell Gage is in.
54.5. All right.
I know you hate it. You can start. Philadelphia Eagles at the Arizona Cardinals. The Cardinals are giving the Eagles 6.5 points in this one. They're paying $1.35 on the money line, $1.90 at the handicap. The Eagles are $3.25 money line underdogs in this one. This is a sneaky play, I think. If they can beat the Saints, they can definitely beat the Cardinals. I'm just saying. What do you like about this game? The total's at 49.5.
The fun person in me wants to roll with the Eagles just because I would love to see Jalen Hurts go out there and get his second victory in the Sooner Bowl this Sunday. But I think we're gonna see like the Eagles offense stall again, and then everybody's gonna question whether it's Peterson or Wentz or whatever the situation. So I'm rolling with the drama. Give me Arizona Cardinals with the spread.
All right, fair enough.
Breaking news from Adam Schefter. Alex just donated his shoulder to Kyler for this Sunday.
Nice. Kyler Murray's at 262.5 yards passing. Jalen Hurts is at 208.5. Kyler Murray, 1.5 touchdowns is paying over 1.5 is paying $1.48. Jalen Hurts over 1.5 touchdowns is paying $2.47. Rushing props, we got Kyler Murray at 46.5, Kenyon Drake at 55.5, Miles Sanders at 63.5, Jalen Hurts at 59.5. Receiving props, we got Larry Fitzgerald at 29.5, Christian Kirk at 41.5, Kenyon Drake at 10.5, DeAndre Hopkins at 85.5, Dan Arnold at 17.5, Zach Ertz 25.5, Dallas Goedert 38.5. Miles Sanders at 16.5, Greg Ward at 27.5, Jalen Reagor at 34.5. And receptions-wise, we got Fitzgerald at 2.5 catches, overpaying $1.57. Christian Kirk at 3.5. DeAndre Hopkins at 6.5, the overpaying $1.65. Dallas Goedert 3.5 catches. Miles Sanders 2.5. Greg Ward 2.5. Jalen Reagor 2.5. And Dan Arnold 1.5. Dan Arnold has been an absolute truth. That 17.5 has not budged much. And every single game, he catches the ball for like 20 yards, like first drive. And then I'm like, man, I should have bet it every single time. I'm like, I should have bet Dan Arnold.
I'm glad you said that because I had his stats up ready to tell you. Like, I don't know if you're willing to live on the Arnold hill, but he's been hitting it and he's getting more involved. For note though, Darius Slay's out, so their best cover corner is not in this game. So
Hopkins season.
Yeah, Hopkins season possibly. I mean, Dallas Goedert is money too. He continues to hit the overs.
So I like Miles Sanders over 63.5.
I do like Miles Sanders too, and that might be a little biased due to my shares in playoffs.
Yeah. I got Hopkins over 85.5 and Arnold over 17.5. We can put them all in, or Goddard over 30.
Oh my God! Imagine just all three of them actually hit. I mean, I do like it though. I think Dan Arnold is kind of seen continued targets. Miles Sanders to me is like somebody that I feel like the Eagles consistently don't give him enough carries, and then when he does, he fucking shows out. And then DeAndre Hopkins is just a beast, and I think Slay would have been the best person to kind of slow him down. And without him, I mean, I don't know, man. I don't know. Are you a Jalen Mills truther?
Slay's not slowing anyone down. But anyway,
he got his last 2 weeks. R.I.P.
Rip. Yeah, I like Hopkins in this matchup as well. Do we throw Sanders and or Arnold and or Goddard in there as well? You let me know how you feel.
Oh God! All right, let me.
Hopkins is in. Hopkins is locked.
Hopkins
is already in.
Andrew, you mean console with me? All right, I see you. 80 what? 85.5?
Yeah. Whatever he did last week, he's going to do again. They actually moved him around. After that, all that stuff came out.
Ooh, Kingsbury's burner found your tweet.
Yeah, it wasn't my tweet originally, but he might have found my tweet after the fact. But yeah, they did actually move him around, so that was good to see.
How was Cardinals' run defense?
Average.
I'm looking it up real quick, just for reference.
It's going to have to be exceptional this week.
I mean, between the two, I would probably lean with Dallas as opposed to Sanders, but I like Sanders in this matchup regardless. Let's 30. Let's go Dallas Goddard.
All right. Sanders out. Goddard's in.
What's he's
Is
at
Dan
48
Arnold
now?
out? Dan Arnold might be
Honestly,
just a personal play.
you know what? It's so tempting, but I would hate like if we hit every single one of them and it was Dan Arnold that screwed us because we just like fell in love with him for like 3 weeks.
3 weeks
hold
of not
off.
betting him.
If he hits it this week, maybe he'll earn the right to be on the power parlay.
Yeah, maybe. The Jets at the Rams. The Rams are giving the Jets 17.5 points in this game. The total is at 43.5, kind of like the over. Would have to lean to the Jets getting that many points, but yeah, it's not fun. What are your thoughts on this one?
It's always the Jets games where like their spread is always somewhat tempting, but then I know the Rams against the Giants, when the Giants were just sputtering, they kind of played down to their opponent. I don't know if I see that against this Jets team, but an 18-point victory, that's still a lot to ask for, especially with the Jets getting some garbage time points. I would probably lean Jets with the spread, but if you're betting this, you're like on another level of degenerateness.
Well, the sharp side will definitely be on the Jets plus 17.5. So the square play is definitely the Rams in this one. So I don't think anyone's really loving taking 17.5 points, but it is Jets. So some people just have the philosophy of betting against the Jets, which has been very fruitful this year. Jared Goff is at 269.5 yards passing. Sam Darnold's at 200.5. Jared Goff over 1.5 touchdowns is about to go up because it's at $1.35 for the over, which is nothing. Sam Darnold's at $3.08 to throw 2 touchdowns in this one. Sam Darnold throw interceptions paying $1.40. Jared Goff throw interceptions paying $2.05. Rushing props, Cam Akers, everyone's dynasty hero from last week. He went from being much maligned to being the overall RB1 in startups somehow. So that's Twitter for you. Cam Akers is now
dynasty RB1 is a fun thing to look at on Twitter. If you have, if you're willing to dig into fantasy football Twitter, it's a blast.
73.5. Sam Darnold's at 11.5 yards rushing. Darrell Henderson's at 18.5. Frank Gore at 32.5. Receiving props, we got Tyler Higbee at 25.5. Gerald Everett 22.5. Rashad Perriman 40.5. I'm never betting a Jets receiver prop again. Denzel Mims 38.5. Robert Woods at 58.5. Josh Reynolds 25.5. Cooper Kupp 59.5. Chris Herndon 8.5. Robert Woods receptions at 5.5. Higbee's at 2.5. Reynolds 2.5. Cooper Kupp 5.5. Rashad Perriman 3.5, Denzel Mims 3.5, Robert Woods 21. Oh, sorry, longest reception is at 21.5. Just in case you're into that, kind of like Cooper Kupp over 5.5 catches. He's due, and this is a nice matchup for that.
See Cooper Kupp. Let's see, 5, 8, 2, and 11. Okay, 11, 2, 8, and 5 in the last game. So I mean, him being due makes a lot of sense there. Robert Woods receiving is kind of tempting, but it's always tempting. It's one of those plays that like
always at 58.5.
Yeah, so yeah,
both him and Kupp are pretty much at the same spot every week.
What about Cam Akers rushing?
No, I'm not doing that.
You're not on the Cam Akers RB1 in Dynasty?
If you want to,
no.
If you really want to do it, I'll do it.
73.5 is pretty high, actually. It's pretty high. And watch Sean McVay, who spent all of last Sunday on red zone.
17 points. It's going to be like Malcolm Brown running around.
Yeah, no thanks. For my fantasy playoffs, I would love for Cam Akers to suck tomorrow. So thank you for speaking that into
Darrell Henderson, 18.5.
Oh, let me look at his recent game.
How many carries did Darrell Henderson get last week when Cam Akers was going crazy?
All right, when Cam Akers was going crazy, he got 2 carries, man.
How many yards?
5.
2 carries, 5 yards. Now, do you think that the Rams, up big in this game, will just be like, yeah, just give Cam Akers 20 carries? or they mix it up?
I kind of hate that. Like, I'm
You want
kind of leaning
Darrell
that
Henderson?
I'm kind of leaning Darrell Henderson on our power parlay, but I think game script's gonna basically set him up to get at least 5, 7, 8 carries. I would think. I wouldn't think they just shove it down the Jets' throat with Cam.
Exactly. That's kind of what I'm
Shit,
thinking.
are we gonna go Darrell Henderson?
I mean, we don't have to. Like I said, we can go other places. I mean, you want to go Higbee over 25 and a
I'm
half?
not the biggest fan of Higbee.
It's not sexy. I mean,
No.
he got it on one play last week, but it's either Woods, Cup, or Henderson for me.
Are you really feeling that it's going to be a Cup game?
I'm feeling the Cup game.
All right, let's roll with the Cooper Cup game.
All right, Cooper Cup over 5.5 reception. That's paying $1.98. I will be betting. I will be betting Henderson this week.
Oh, I will too. Oh, yeah.
Kansas City
If
Chiefs
Cup doesn't hit and Henderson hits, I'm going to be really mad I didn't speak up.
That's fair. We got Kansas City Chiefs at the New Orleans Saints. The Chiefs are 2.5-point favorites in this one. $1.73 on the money line. Drew Brees is back. It means it's Alvin Kamara season. Michael Thomas is out. Perfect timing for Alvin Kamara season. I'm all for it. For your semifinal matchup in fantasy, the total in this game is at 52.5. I kind of like the over. What do you like about this game?
I definitely like the Chiefs with the spread. I think we're going to see some rust, but I do kind of like that over. But my play in this one it's got to be the Chiefs -2.5.
Yeah, I like the Chiefs -2.5 as well. It's probably a little bit of a square play. Chiefs on the road in New Orleans.
Call me SpongeBob.
Call me SpongeBob. Patrick Mahomes.
That was so lame.
Patrick Mahomes player props. Passing yards at 318.5. Drew Brees at 242.5. Patrick Mahomes completions 26.5. Drew Brees at 23.5. Patrick Mahomes to throw over 2.5 touchdowns is paying $2.10. Drew Brees to throw over 1.5 touchdowns is paying $1.68. Drew Brees to throw a pick is $2.19. Patrick Mahomes to throw a pick is $2.14. Rushing props wise, we got Mahomes at 15.5. Clyde Edwards-Helaire at 39.5. Le'Veon Bell at 16.5. Alvin Kamara at 58.5. Latavius Murray at 34.5. Clyde Edwards-Helaire rushing and receiving at 63.5. Le'Veon Bell at 29.5 rushing and receiving. Alvin Kamara is at 112.5 rushing and receiving. So receiving props wise, as Devontae Adams breaks another one a little bit there. Receiving props, we got Tyreek Hill at 78.5. Sammy Watkins at 38.5. Travis Kelce 87.5. Alvin Kamara at 53.5. Emmanuel Sanders 52.5. Traquan Smith 42.5. Jared Cook 32.5. Clyde Edwards-Helaire 17.5. Le'Veon Bell 9.5. Demarcus Robinson at 24.5. Mecole Hardman at 20.5. Latavius Murray at 6.5. Receptions, we got Kamara at 6.5. That's good to see again. That's been a while.
The bookies couldn't wait to raise all his receiving things up. Jeez.
Yeah, 6.5. The over. Clyde Edwards-Helaire 2.5 receptions. The over is paying $1.80. Le'Veon Bell over 1.5 catches at $1.88. Can you check Le'Veon Bell's receiving yards the last few games? Tyreek Hill is at 6.5 catches. Sammy Watkins at 3.5. Kind of like the over with Sammy. Demarcus Robinson at 2.5. Mecole Hardman at 2.5. Travis Kelce at 6.5. Emmanuel Sanders at 4.5 receptions. Traquan at 3.5. Jared Cook at 2.5. The over paying $1.60. And that's pretty much it.
Oh man, Le'Veon Bell's is so tempting.
Aaron Jones is over your total, by the way. Aaron Jones season.
_ Alex Valadez. That was one of my locks.
It's definitely a lock because it's finished, done and dusted. I'll put Jamal Williams in the game. No, anyway.
Le'Veon Bell's receiving prop is insanely tempting.
Yeah, I know. I knew it was going to be. God damn it.
5 of the last 6 games he's hit that. Why would you put this in my face now? Damn it.
So he's caught 2 balls or he's gone over yards? 10 yards?
The yards he's gone over in terms of over in the receptions, he's hit that. So it's over 1.5? or 2.5?
1.
If it's over 1.5, then he's hit that in the last 3 games with 2, 3, 3 and targets respectively. So,
bro,
that's easy. Oh man! All right, yards. I like over the yards. It's 9.5.
Okay, we can go yards. That's safer. Okay. Yeah, $1.86.
I know you and I we're on the Le'Veon Bell fan club before the season started, so I think he could thank us by getting the 10-yard reception.
Sure. Sammy Watkins over 38.5 is interesting as well. I mean, I think we could throw in a couple of props here, to be honest.
See, let me see Sammy Watkins because
we're only at 6,500 to 1, so what?
Chump change. All right. What's Sammy Watkins total at?
38.5.
Oof, he's only hit that once in the last 3 games.
Right,
he did hit it last game though.
Oh, we're back in.
Oh man, you are so swayed easy. Are we leaning
Kamara?
anything? Kamara? Yeah, I was gonna bring up. I mean, Kamara receiving seems so tempting.
It'd have to be yards. Reception's too high, and it's
rushing
total
yards.
Rushing and receiving is 112.5.
I could totally see him hit that. I mean, be completely honest. Do you really think Kamara will see kind of the same workload with Drew Brees? I mean, he's coming back from that rib injury. Apparently, he's
he's going to get check down city. He's going to get 14, 15 carries, 13, 14, 15 carries against the Chiefs defense that sucks against the run. Oh, is worse against the run than it is the pass. I like Kamara rushing and receiving. I think it's tough though.
It's at 112.5.
Yeah. Do we go rushing or do we go receiving? I don't know if we go both.
Okay. If we're not going to go both, what about game script? What about game script? You don't think it'd be more of a receiving game in this one?
Yeah. Like I said, I think he's going to get a bunch of dump offs and you could easily get 53.5 yards receiving. It's $1.83. I'm happy to put it in along with Le'Veon Bell. We just go running backs in this game.
Yeah, I would probably lean Kamara with the rushing. I mean, the receiving. I mean, the rushing. Rushing's at 53.5?
Yeah.
No, 58.5.
Receiving's at 53.5, 58.5. It's receiving.
In five of the 7 games, he's hit over that in receiving.
Yeah, it's receiving.
I just think game script, it just fits that one more.
Yeah. It's receiving.
53.5 receiving. Anything else?
Nope.
Oh,
moving on. Nope, we're moving on. Cleveland Browns at the New York Giants. The Browns $1.30 money line favorite. They are giving the Giants 6.5 points. We spoke about earlier how Colt McCoy is the starting quarterback in this one. Rough end of the season here for the Giants. The total in this game is 44.5. I like the Browns minus 6.5 still. Go ahead.
Yeah, I definitely like the Browns in this one as well. Really glad I got the early line at 4.5. So I think it's going to be a smooth ride even with 6.5. Give me the Browns. Chubb and Hunt season.
Chubb and Hunt season. Fair enough. Quarterback prop markets got Baker Mayfield at 227.5. Colt McCoy. I don't have passing yards for Colt McCoy. I do have passing touchdowns for Colt McCoy. Over 1.5 is paying $2.75 if you're interested in that. Baker Mayfield over 1.5 touchdowns is paying $2.05. Interesting enough. Rushing props wise, we got Nick Chubb at 75.5, Kareem Hunt 41.5, Wayne Gallman 55.5. Baker Mayfield at 4.5, Alfred Morris at 14.5, Nick Chubb rushing and receiving 87.5, Kareem Hunt rushing and receiving is only 58.5. Is that broken? What's going on?
Wait a minute.
Wayne Gallman's at 68.5 rushing and receiving.
Oh my God, did we just find a gem?
I mean, I might have to just drop my Robert Tonyan money on.
Oh my gosh, he has hit that in the last 3 games.
Why? I don't understand. Why is that so low? I might be putting a 50 spot on that one.
Oh, me too. Wow.
Anyway, Jarvis Landry receiving yards at 56.5. Rashard Higgins at 48.5. Darius Slayton 36.5. Golden Tate 33.5. Nick Chubb 7.5. Kareem Hunt 18.5. Donovan Peoples-Jones 14.5. Austin Hooper, Aaron Rodgers anytime touchdown. I didn't have that.
I didn't have that either.
He just ran it in now. He's on my fantasy team now, so that's good. Wayne Gallman at 9.5. Total receptions. Nick Chubb is at 1.5 catches. Kareem Hunt at 2.5 catches. Jarvis Landry at 4.5. That's over. Rashard Higgins 3.5. Donovan Peoples-Jones at 1.5. Austin Hooper 2.5. Wayne Gallman 1.5. Sterling Shepard 4.5. I'm not betting any of these Giants receiver
No
props.
thanks.
So I like Jarvis Landry 4.5 over 4.5, and I like the Kareem Hunt one. We can only pick one, unfortunately. What are we going with?
Wait, we can only pick one?
Yes, because the Kareem Hunt rushing and receiving yards is not something you can combine on my book, on this book that I'm using.
Oh, we can't use that for the for the power parlay?
Yeah, we can use that on power parlay, but we can only use one prop from this game then.
Oh, gotcha. Sneaky bastards. Damn, because I was gonna say I love the Kareem Hunt rushing and receiving, and then combining that with Nick Chubb, but I guess we can't do that.
Well, we could do rushing or receiving combined with Nick Chubb. Rushing or receiving.
What's Hunt's receiving? Let me see.
18.5.
I mean, he's hit that in the last 2 games. But game script, it could be really nasty.
Yeah.
Rushing, I don't see Hunt hitting that. Well, maybe. It's a tough one. I'm trying to look at a game that they just dominated to see where. Oh, they didn't really.
They haven't really dominated anyone.
That's true.
The Washington game, 34-20, or Bolts. Oh no, they got dominated that game.
I guess I would probably lean Nick Chubb rushing. I think he's going to be in like the 120 range this game.
So we're going Nick Chubb rushing over Landry receptions.
You really want to go with Landry? Is it a home game for Cleveland, or it's in the Meadowlands?
It's in the Meadowlands.
All right. Jarvis?
We can go Chubb. It's fine. I'll do Jarvis on my own time. I'll stick with Jarvis.
sounds so. I know you're not bitter, but it sounds so bitter that you said that. Is overs at what?
4.5. It's a lot.
I didn't even. I just looked at his recent. Oh yeah, no, we're throwing that in there. No.
So we're going.
The numbers really support it. Oh, we can't get both.
No. We're going Chubb.
Chubb. Damn, but that Landry one is fantastic.
I can handle it.
You can handle the rejection?
I can. Last but not least, Pittsburgh Steelers at Cincinnati Bengals. The Bengals are getting 14.5 points. No. The Steelers are $1.10 on the money line. So the total in this game is 40. The 40, the total. That is so disrespectful. That's more disrespectful than my Deontay hate.
What did Deontay ever do to
right
you,
now,
man?
We don't have any props for this game, by the way.
James Conner anytime.
Oh, God.
That would be the worst hill to die on. Anthony McFarland touchdown?
Pittsburgh money line?
Oh, jeez. What is that paying?
$1.10.
Paying oh man, it's $1.11 where I'm at. Should I lock it in?
To be fair, if I put that in there, it does increase the odds from 23,000 to 1 to 25,000 to 1. So
let's do it. Let's just put Steelers money line. Okay, make it a. I keep on telling you, the last leg or two should try to be something like chill. So if we really get that far, it's not like as stressful.
Right. Well, Pittsburgh money line is in there. And it comes to a grand total of $126,883 if we can pull this off.
Some light. It's a nice
Sorry?
stroll in Perth. I said it's something light. Nice little stroll in Perth. A little walking around money.
Sure. Don't hate it, that's for sure.
Imagine hating that. Like,
just
oh, that's
real
not enough,
quick.
Alex.
Sorry, not good enough. NBA wise, all right, real quick. We got player awards, futures, regular season MVP. Luka Doncic is the favorite at $4.50. Giannis is at $5.50. Stephen Curry is at $8.50. Ant Davis $10. Kevin Durant $10. James Harden at $12. LeBron $14. Damian Lillard $18. Kawhi Leonard $18. Jason Tatum $23. Joel Embiid $26. Devin Booker $34. Jokic $34. Zion $34. Jimmy Butler $51. Westbrook, Irving $51. Trae Young, 61. And it just gets uglier and uglier. Donovan Mitchell, 81. Yeah. Ben Simmons, 91. Yeah. It's not going to be one of those guys. It's not going to be Giannis.
No.
Because everyone's going to have MVP fatigue. So he's had, back-to-back MVP seasons. It's not going to be a back-to-back situation. So we're looking at Luka, who does have a little bit of injury history. We got Steph Curry, Anthony Davis. I don't think he's going to play enough games. Kevin Durant, or is he going to be on pitch count early? LeBron's not going to play enough games. There could be a sneaky one here. Could Jason Tatum take the leap?
Yeah, you know what? Like,
or Joel Embiid.
No, Joel Embiid is not taking the leap. Get out of here.
What?
Alex is gonna kill me for that if he hears that I said that in the chat.
I thought Rivers was, he's a whisperer, man. He gets everyone to play hard.
Oh yeah. I'm sure Doc Rivers is I'm sure Doc Rivers is gonna move the needle for Joel Embiid. I'm sure it will. Watch it does.
The experts. A lot of people love what the experts say.
All the experts that said that Paul George and Kawhi would be the unstoppable duo last year.
Yeah.
Dark horse, I do like Kevin Durant only because even with the threat of the pitch count, which probably is going to be there, I still think nostalgia might hit kind of like people are like, oh, he's back. That's also why I didn't think well, it makes sense that Luka would be the favorite, but I have a feeling like Luka is going to win the MVP only because he's going to be like the league's darling until he wins it. Then everyone's going to find holes in his game like they always do with everybody who wins MVP. So I'm rolling with the league's darling that is Luka Doncic. Shout out to Luka. He lost me $100 in that game-winning 3 he hit against the Clippers. So thanks.
Oh, poor Alex. Everyone pour one out for Alex.
Please.
Pretty sad about it. Please. All right. The next NBA player award is the old most improved player, which is not as fun. It's always so gross. You got SGA, Christian Wood, Kobe White, Michael Porter Jr., Jamal Murray, Zion, DeAndre Ayton. Interesting at 21-1. Because I think with Chris Paul there, he could really unlock him. John Morant at 21-1, Tyler Hero 21-1, De'Aaron Fox 26-1, Jaylen Brown 26-1, Bagley, Boucher, White, Jackson Jr. This is a crapshoot, man. To be honest, Michael Porter Jr. I guess, or DeAndre Ayton would be my leans. Jamal Murray's not going to get it. How much more improved is he going to get?
Yeah, Jamal Murray is kind of a crazy one to have there. Let me see. Do you know if Jaren Jackson is going to be there this season for the Memphis Grizz?
Is he actually going to play, and be healthy?
Yeah, because I know that he had that injury recently. Only maybe 100 days ago? Jaren
Yeah, I'm not
Jackson,
taking Jaren
torn left
Jackson.
meniscus. He's not going to be. I kind of what's Jaws at?
21-1.
I might even lean with him only because he's going to have to do so much more with Jaren Jackson not being there. I know Dylan Brooks was like, I don't know if it was yours, but it was my one of my favorite little player props in the bubble, just because he was getting a lot more looks. But I think Ja could possibly push into that like mid-20s in points and kind of have one of those statistical years, but because of Jaren Jackson not being there, Jaren Jackson and him were a fun duo to watch. I think Ja's going to hold it down and boost the stats. I don't know if he'll garner the votes for most improved, but I like that as a dark horse.
So are you out on Taco Fall?
Is he on this list?
He's on the odds, yeah. It's
What's his odds?
276 to 1.
I'm gonna be honest with you. Now that you said that, I'm gonna look at my book real quick. I might just put a couple bucks on there just because I've seen crazier things happen. But
I mean, Kuzma and Wiggins are also 276 to 1.
Come on, bro. It's Horton season. Kuzma's an interesting one, but which with LeBron and Anthony Davis on probably like you said a pitch count, we might see a little bit more Kuz getting some more shots earlier in the season to kind of garner that.
Where did Oubre go?
He's on the Warriors with no Klay Thompson.
Oh man, he's 61 to 1.
Ooh, that's a good one. That we'll put a couple dollars on Oubre. No, that is a really good one.
Yeah,
Plus,
my boy Hachimura.
I think he could take a big step too. I mean, with Westbrook and Beal being there.
There's so many ones you guys can take a punt. Just scroll down the list, guys, and really just.
What's the most like ridiculous one you see on there? Just curious.
That's what I said. Taco Fall.
There's no one more obscure.
There's no one less or more than 276 to 1 odds, and that's Wiggins, Kuzma, Kennard, Fall, and Richardson. And then the next are like Caruso, Patty Mills, which is not going to happen. Patty Mills is like 100 years old. He's as old as me. Karis LeVert, like Osman, Dwayne Bacon, Diallo, Jarrett Allen, Jackson Hayes, Malcolm Brogdon.
Where's Dwayne Bacon at?
91 to 1.
No, but where's he playing? I know he's not on the Hornets anymore. Or
I'm not sure where Dwayne Bacon is.
So I remember he was like on a lot of people's lists. He was drafted. Let's see where he's at. Oh, he's on the Magic. Nah, 25. Nah, still not for it.
Not for it either.
All right. So you like I like Ja as an interesting one. You like Kelly Oubre. Kelly Oubre is a really good one.
I like Oubre and Ayton.
Ayton too. The Chris Paul factor. If there's anybody that'll make Joel Embiid try harder, it might be Chris Paul.
You mean Ayton, not Joel Embiid?
No, but I was talking about for Joel Embiid for the MVP because we remember how we made the reference. Yeah.
All right, Rookie of the Year, another crapshoot. LaMelo Ball's at $5. Obi Toppin at $6.50. Anthony Edwards at $7.50. James Wiseman at $8. Killian Hayes at $9.50. Denny Adavadia is at $13. Halliburton $18. Bol $23. Quickly $23. Okoro $23. Patrick Williams $23. Cole Anthony $34. And then we go down the line. Anthony Edwards. It's not sexy. I don't think he's more of a football player, but it's got to be someone that plays a lot. And LaMelo Ball, Obi Toppin, Edwards. That's why they're at the top here.
Yeah. My two in this situation that I'm putting money on is LaMelo and Obi Toppin. Those are the two gentlemen that I have put money on for the Rookie of the Year. Only because LaMelo is going to get a lot of usage, and I don't know why I have a soft spot for the Knicks over the last couple of years that I just kind of want them to not be complete trash. So
I like Halliburton, but he's just the Kings.
I just got Obi Toppin's trading card, so I really hope he does well too.
All right, so I would just advise taking one of those top three guys. It's not fun, but at the same time, I mean, Bobo long shot. he'd do the Ben Simmons thing, but he would have to actually play. So
He's not
that's
going to play.
he's not going to play.
Not gonna play. No.
Sixth man of the year. Do we have to do this one? Lou Williams at $5 to be sixth man again. Jordan Clarkson at 7-1. Gallinari at 11-1. Goran Dragic at 11-1. That's interesting. Ibaka at 13-1. Hero at 18-1. Karis LeVert is at 21-1. Davis Bertans 21-1. Schroeder at 21-1. Ooh, Schroeder.
Schroeder already said he's already made it public that he wants to start. So I wonder how that's going to go.
I don't know how this works. So betting
how terrible would it be? You bet right now, and then they're all starters.
Yeah. What the hell, man?
Tyler Hero and Jordan Clarkson kind of stick out to me only because I think I think everybody's kind of gotten stale on Will a little bit, only because he's just like the easy one to go with. But I like Jordan Clarkson as one. I think he's like a great scoring option for the Utah Jazz. They let him put up as many shots as he can take.
Yeah,
but
that Tyler was Hero. Mostly because Bogdanovich was hurt too, though.
That is true, but I think his performance, because he did have a couple really good games for the Jazz scoring off the bench. So I think they're definitely going to let him not unload the clip, but definitely let him get his shots up. What was the other one I was thinking? Tyler Hero is a easy one to kind of look at. I don't know if he would really do it consistently, but he's a flashy one, so like him too.
I mean, Harrell and Schroeder have both been close. They're at 21-1. So I mean, I don't think Harrell's going to be starting, is he?
I don't think so. Well, actually, no. It's Marcus All's going to start. Marcus All's going to start.
You think Marcus All's going to start?
Yeah, they're going to keep Trez in that 6-man position. Watch.
All right. Well, from there, rookie 6-man, we go to defensive player of the year. This is the last one. Anthony Davis at $3.30. Rudy Gobert at $4. Giannis at $4.50. Bam Adebayo at $9.50. Embiid at $10. Simmons at 15-1. Leonard at 31-1. Miles Turner at 31-1. Draymond Green at 51-1. Like Marcus Smart 51-1. And I mean, I'm not putting Kristaps Porzingis in there at 51-1.
They have that on there?
Yeah.
That's disgusting.
I mean, they have lots of guys. I mean, they've got Brook Lopez really, at 51-1.
Oh my god! Just because he gets a block every once in a while.
Yeah, Jared Allen, Covington, Drew Holiday. Drew Holiday is interesting.
That's a nice one to kind of
61-1.
I don't know, man. I think it's time for the Joker, man. Nikola Jokic, man.
No, please stop. Where is he even on this list? He's not on this list.
I would hope he's not. And if it is, your boogie's not a scam artist, but they're taking advantage of the misinformed.
Wasn't Paul George supposed to be good at defense? He's at 101-1 odds, by the way.
Wait, really? Yeah, I don't think he'll regain that like defensive presence like he had. He was a defensive guy, not as of late.
Thibault at 101-1.
That one's interesting. I mean, is he going to get an uptick in minutes? Do you think?
I don't know. I mean, Ayton's at 101-1. That's interesting.
I don't think Ayton gets that.
Block shots.
No. Even that.
Ben Simmons at 15-1 if he plays the whole year.
That's a concerning thing with Simmons is that back injury.
Yeah, so I would probably lean like Adebayo's not bad at $9.50.
Mm-hmm. That's a good one.
And I think Giannis is still probably in the conversation. Like if he's not going to win MVP, I could see them giving him Defense Player of the Year again. That's $4.50 though. It's not beautiful. My long shot would be Drew Holiday at 61-1, just for fun.
So does that mean you're going to be betting on Chris Middleton player props now that he's the third fiddle?
I'm not betting on. I don't know. I won't say never.
Oh man, yeah. No, I definitely like Bam. Giannis is an easy one only because like I think he knows the MVP kind of run is probably not in his favor, and I think him having Drew too kind of will help anchor the defense as well. So it'll be I'm sure he'll be racking up the blocks and steals like he normally does. So yeah, I think Giannis is one of the more solid favorites.
Yeah, for sure. And pretty sure that will do it for us here at the Bets Unwrapped podcast. We gave you an hour and 24 minutes. We did get into NBA a little bit there. We will be forecasting some of the NBA stuff as well weekly. We'll give you some player props and things like that for the NBA as well. Make sure you follow us on Twitter at CMoney52 and at _Alex Valadez. We will be giving out NBA props on there as well. So once that kicks off here this week, so exciting times for the player props and betting in general. So I really appreciate you jumping on with us, Alex, as Aaron Jones scores a touchdown, and yeah, appreciate it.
Thank you, man.
All right,
real quick,
yeah.
Real quick, are we gonna do a double power parlay now that the NBA is also going to be running next week?
It's something we're going to discuss, just wait. Man. We're gonna discuss it. Maybe do mixed bag and put all the props together.
I was just trying to press you. I was just trying to press you live.
Yeah, that's all right. We'll figure it out. We got a little bit of time here, so. But yeah, I really appreciate jumping on, and we'll see you guys next week.